All right, good evening, traders. This is the BYOB market wrap up. All right, so let's take a look at the daily chart for the SPY. And we had a pullback with a equal low and, a equal high and a slightly lower low. All right, we're still in this daily uptrend with higher lows and higher highs and another higher low. So daily uptrend, this new daily uptrend is still in effect. Today wasn't good, but and then again we just had 3 green candles. A pause is most times very normal after you get 3 green candles. So nothing to be alarmed about there. As far as the midpoint goes, here's the cute little 3-bar rally. And if you look at price action is closing over the midpoint. Okay, so if we look at this on a 5-minute chart, here's price closing over the midpoint. That's a good sign. Now what we really wanted was for price action to close over this green anchored VWAP, and that would be the bullish anchored VWAP that is anchored at the high of this year. Really wanted to see it close up over that. Good news, it's headed that way according to the last 4 10-minute candles. Okay, not very strong candles. They could have got there in one swoop with one candle had they wanted to. So this makes me believe that this midpoint could be in jeopardy tomorrow morning. Now tomorrow morning we got CPI coming out 8:30, so we'll see what happens. All right, so there is the SPY. Now let's take a look at it one more time. Let's look at it on the 3-bar chart. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way. All right, so here we got the igniting candle, the pause, the check of support, the first price advancement candle. Here's the second price advancement candle. What we ask out of this candle is that it make a higher high. We've already gotten one day. One day has already expired. And hold a higher low. All right. So far, they came back to about the midpoint and they closed over it. That's a pretty good sign. But it's not very strong at this time. Okay. But all we ask is that it make a higher high and hold a higher low. All right. So that's our MMRP on the 3-day chart. Okay, and there you go right there. So there's SPY, still in that daily uptrend. Now let's take a peek at QQQ. All right, so here's QQQ. Let's just get a clean chart. All right, so here we are, QQQ, nice uptrend here, making the higher low. Okay, and looking to make the next higher high. Just struggling right now. I should probably move to the daily chart. Okay, so here's the higher low, and we've got another higher low and a higher high, and yet again another higher low. So we have a new daily uptrend here. Okay, now we've got price action. The 3 and the 8 are all over the trend indicator. That's a good sign. The fact that price is underneath the 8, not a good sign. Okay, so that's not good, but this is good that it's staying above the 17 EMA on the daily. Okay, so that's good. Still in an uptrend right here. You got higher low, higher high, higher low, higher, not quite the higher high yet. Okay, a little bit of work to do there. So today's price action took out the low just like the SPY did. And today's price action did not reach the highs of yesterday. So there's QQQ. Now let's take a look at FNGU. Now this is a group of 10 heavily weighted stocks that move the SPY and the QQQ. This is FNGU. It's actually just 10 different stocks that are just, these are the heavyweights that are in the SPY and in the QQQ. So wherever this moves, it's more than likely that's where the market's going to move. And if you look at this price action, it will oftentimes mirror image either QQQ or SPY, or probably both in one form or fashion or another. Okay, so here's FNGU. Here is a head, a right shoulder, left shoulder, neck line right there. You notice you connect the neck right there. Left neck, right neck, connect them and extend the line. Okay, so price action needed to breach these recent highs. Hasn't done it yet. Hasn't failed, but hasn't done it yet. Okay, good news. All three, price action, 3 EMA, and 8 EMA, all held up over the 17 EMA trend indicator. That is a good sign. All right, not so good sign. Price is closing darn near the 8 EMA. That's the T line. That's the white one. All right, so closing down there, not so good. All right, but then again, it's had 3 moves up, 3 days up, actually 2 days up, but and then a pause. So little red, green. It's not kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for a battery of green, 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 green. That would be a sure sign of, hey, we're going to go attack the highs. This is not very confident. But what we do have is a trend line right here. So FNGU has started a new uptrend. First plan of action, all right, take out this high. Second plan of action, either lean on this neckline or spike this neckline or get over this neckline and hold price over it. Okay? It has 2 tasks that it has to complete. Take out the high and attack the neckline. Those are the 2 tasks that FNGU needs to do. And if it could do that, it will probably lift the SPY and the QQQ with it. So there's FNGU. Now, let's go take a look at a few indicators. So here's T2122. Just stuck. This is today's price action right here. Just stuck in the chop zone, in the bearish side of the chop zone. This is the midpoint of the chop zone. This would be the bearish side. This would be the bullish side. Okay, so you can see comes down, makes a lower high, makes a lower low, rallies up, makes a higher high, makes a higher low, makes another higher high, and then falls off a cliff right here. All right, back down here to attack the lows. So there's T2122. T2123. All right, it's 15 minute. Here we are, red. Then they went through the attack phase, and then they pulled the rug out, and they fell off a cliff right here. Here's the red trend indicator balls. So selling, buying, and selling. That was pretty much what happened today. Sell, buy, sell. All right, so let's look at this on the 3-bar chart. This is the full trading day broken up into 3 equal periods of 2 hours and 10 minutes each. Okay, because the market day is 6.5 hours long, starting at 9:30, ending at 4. Okay, so you got from 10 to 4, that's 6 hours, and then you got a half hour before that. So you break it up into 3 equal parts. So here is the bigger trend for the T2123, and right here we've got price action underneath the trend indicator and closing below the rising 200. Rising 200 should have probably had an effect on it. It did not. Not a good sign there. Okay, this is support. support didn't seem to have a very good effect. We got a dead cat bounce. As you can see, we fall down, we hit it, and we don't even go anywhere. Just a hockey stick over to the right. So there's T2123. All right, now let's go look at two other indices. We're going to look at Diamond Dow. Here's Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow has a higher low here, all right, but has failed to produce the higher high yet. Diamond Dow has placed another higher low right here. That is very good, but also has failed to produce the higher high yet. It's not done. We cannot call this over, but this is a triangle playing out. If we connect the tops of these two peaks right here, so here's the tops right there, and here's the bottoms right here. All right, so this is the bears need to break this uptrend. The bulls need to break this downtrend. Okay, there's two tasks right there. As you can see, all we're doing is like, I don't know if you guys play air hockey, but this is where the puck comes down and then it slides across the table, hits this side, and then it hits this side, and now it's hit this side. So like just like an air hockey table, it's just bouncing from side to side, and eventually it needs to break out. Somebody needs to take over the price action here. Somebody's going to dominate the future price action. So there's Diamond Dow. Entered a new daily uptrend with a higher low. Not quite made the higher high yet. All right. So still kind of in this downtrend, actually, because we made a lower high and not yet produced a lower low. So it's kind of just meandering here, trying to figure out what it wants to do. All right. So yet we've made the higher low, but not the higher high. Yet we've made the lower high, but not the lower low. So eventually something's going to break and somebody's going to get the job done. All right, so there's Diamond Dow. And you notice it's probably in a half-hour uptrend there. We'll see what it looks like. I don't know how they closed today. Yeah, if you look at this, it's a red trend indicator. Well, we'll look at it on a 15. Well, go to the hourly right there. All right, so it's an hour uptrend right there. Right there. You got a high and a low and a higher high. So you got a 1 hour uptrend. That's all you got right now in a daily downtrend. All right, because if we look at it on the daily chart, just a daily pullback. Okay, let me correct that. It's a daily pullback. All right, because we haven't made the lower low, and we haven't made the higher high. So we're just consolidating here over to the right. So there's diamonds. Now IWM. So here's IWM on the daily chart. Still struggling to get it done. All right, so as you can see, IWM putting in a equal low right here. So he has one low, and you can see we double bottomed right here, here, and here with this one. So we got an equal low, and we've got a lower high. So this is in a downtrend right here. Just has not made the lower low yet. Okay, that's all it's missing is the lower low. So just like any triangle, somebody's got to dominate the future price action. The bulls have to break this downtrend, and the bears have to break. Actually, the bears have to break this support line right there, because this is the low right here. In order to produce a bearish daily pattern, they would have to break this support line right here and close candles making the lower low. So there's IWM. Just nothing pretty there. Notice you got the candle, that's the price action, the 3 EMA, the 8 EMA, that's the T line, that's the white line, all underneath the trend indicator, and the trend indicator's red. So anytime price closes underneath the 17 EMA, turns the trend indicator red. So there you go. IWM, very weak again. All right. Could be setting up a W pattern. We'll see what happens. You know, could come down here and come back up there, and then do the W pattern. We'll see what happens here. But there's IWM. Now let's go take a look at the dollar index. Here is the dollar index, still just hanging out tough up here, holding strong over 104. Like it to break 104.50. It has not. So for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trading days, it has been holding up over 104.50. So here's the dollar index. Strong dollar makes our goods and services more expensive, and makes us less competitive in the world economy. So that's probably would bring the markets down if this continues to grind up higher and higher. So there is the DXY, that is the dollar index. Don't forget, CPI data coming out tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. All right, for earnings, the big earnings coming up is on Thursday, and that's going to be Adobe right there. 258 billion right there. All right, so there's Adobe. That's a big one coming out on Thursday, but before Thursday we got CPI data. All right, if we look at the economic calendar, it's CPI 8:30, Treasury statement at 2. We'll see what happens for Thursday. PPI final demand, so I guess they're going to revise numbers. Jobless claims, I haven't heard too much for layoffs. Retail sales, Fed balance sheet, that's it there. After that, it's a pretty light week after the Fed makes its statement, and we get PPI final and jobless claims. That's it for that one. And for Max Payne, we're still looking at, I think, roughly 2 puts for every call. So it's the 15th right there, and we have 2 puts for every call, and Max Payne is 440. So we'll see if they're going to go after 440 or do a bear squeeze, a short squeeze. All right, so let's take that down. Now let's go take a look at silver. Let's go see what silver did. All right, silver still in a daily downtrend, stuck in the channel, moving to the right. Bears need to break the bottom of this channel. Bulls need to break the top of that channel. Until then, it's just swinging in the channel. Just fish on the edges. Just fish on the banks, right on the edges of the channel. In other words, you get here, make a buy, get up here, sell your profits. There's silver. Gold. Gold is in a bullish flag, in a wedge pattern, consolidating over 175, just like the air hockey table. Price is whipping from one side to the other side to the other side, and it's just going to shuffle back and forth here until one of the two things happens. Either the bulls get some inspiration and they break this downtrend that the bears have set up, or the bears get some inspiration and break this support line that the bulls have set up. So we'll see what happens. So there's gold just currently consolidating. Let's take a look at SMH. SMH, just a sloppy bull flag, a move up and an extended flag to the right. Almost entered a channel now. It's been in there for 1, 2, 3. Well, let's just try it. Try it again. 1, 2, 3 months now. All right, 3-month channel here on SMH, just ping-ponging back and forth. Again, the bears need to break the bulls, support line right here, and the bulls need to break the bears resistance line up above. So until then, it's just going to shuffle back and forth. IYT, here's a transport. Horrible day today. I don't know if that counts. Let me just see where it is. All right, because they like to do this, give us a big red candle, and sometimes it's not. So let me just see where they actually closed. Yeah, see what they do? So they actually closed at 241.74. Well, tricky little guys, aren't they? So this is really where they closed, right there. All right, so you got another little tail candle. So it looks like we have some support here around 241, and we're trying to hold that area. So the bulls need to break that support. The bears need to break the support, and the bulls need to bust up this downtrend line right there. And we have a daily downtrend in the transports with a higher low and a lower, with a lower high and a lower low. And now it's just consolidating in a little mini bear flag there. So there's the transports. Let's take a look at financials. Here we are with the financials. Nice. Ooh, that's looking good. All right, so another triangle that needed to play out, and you can see here's the consolidation. All right, and the bulls are trying to do what they were told to do, was to break up this resistance line overhead. All right, so you can see here's the bulls spiking the resistance line overhead. Would have liked to seen them close over this high, but leaning on the high is not bad. We have minor resistance. See these tails that stick down? That's the minor resistance. So you can see price action kind of got held up at minor resistance. If they could grind up and move up sometime, in the near future, maybe this week, that would be good and break this downtrend. So there's XLF. Found some gasoline there. All right. So that's good looking for XLF. Maybe they can continue with this uptrend a little bit longer. Now let's take a look at, that's it. I think that's it, right? Let's take a look at USO. All right, here is crude oil. It's bullish. It's obscenely bullish. Higher low, higher high. It's just really bullish. I wish it would cool off and rest for 2 months, but it's really bullish right there. So there's USO. Crude oil, really looking strong. UNG had some lift today. All right, now I don't know if it's going to start a new uptrend here, but you notice recently all of their uptrends have only lasted for about 6 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can count. There you go. All right, so 4 to 5 days. That's all they seem to last. So we'll see what happens. Do got a few highs we can connect right here. We'll see what happens. See if price action wants to get any follow through. Notice there is 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles in a row there. That's a good sign. Making a rest on the second candle, not a good sign. If you needed a rest after just one candle, it's kind of weak there. But price action and the 3 closing up over the trend indicator. That's a good sign. The 8 still has yet to cross the trend indicator. So that's still in bear territory. If we look at this on the bigger picture, and I'll put the channel lines in. There we go. Just a big bear flag, just a hockey stick, comes down and just channels over to the right for 8 months long. All right, so maybe the bulls can break the bears' resistance line up here. We'll see what happens. Okay, so there's UNG. All right, traders, that's it for right now. I'll see you, all you guys in BYOB in the trading room tomorrow at 8 o'clock. All you guys in YouTube land, thank you for listening to me. I hope you hit the thumbs up. I hope you hit subscribe. And there is a link at the end of this for a $24.50 for a 30-day trial in the BYOB trading room. All right, so there you go right there. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being here.